Hi everybody, and welcome to A Case of the Jills. You know what today is? It's my YouTube anniversary. Ugh, yes, that's right. Today makes exactly 1 calendar year that I've been on YouTube. I actually can't believe it. It's pretty amazing. Considering all the times I wanted to stop, I'm sort of excited that I made it this far. But Jill, you make it look so easy. No, YouTube is hard. In the next few minutes, we're just gonna go through a year in review. This is not going to be my entire life history in this last year or any kind of total review of everything that we've done on this channel in the last year, but I just wanted to sort of touch on some of the things that I have learned and what it's really like to be on YouTube. Check that, what it's like to be on YouTube when you're a nobody and have no followers. But love all the ones you have so much. Okay, let's get to it. Just for funsies, you should go ahead and watch my first video that I ever did on YouTube. I'll put the link up here somewhere. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm sure that every single person on YouTube has the same thought about their first video. You start off thinking that you're gonna talk about something and then it ends up that you talk about something completely different. I thought this was going to be a place where I would definitely talk about my struggles with amenorrhea, but that it was gonna be more about ultra running, maybe some training stuff, maybe some shoe reviews, some girly things. But then it really shocked me the amount of feedback that I got from women wanting me to talk about amenorrhea, specifically hypothalamic amenorrhea, or red S if you want to call it, or female athlete triad, whatever your way of describing what the situation is of losing your period when you're an athlete. So I just kind of went with it. I went with what you wanted. I just kept researching and giving you as much information as you wanted on all the different aspects of this. It shocked me so much that there were so many of you. I really thought that it would be a niche thing, and well, it really is because this channel is minuscule, but there were more of you talking or wanting to talk about this issue than I originally thought. Over the last year, it is definitely true that I started off talking a lot about the technical science-related aspects of amenorrhea and what we can do to ensure our recovery. At the beginning, I was more focused on just hitting those bullet points of, this is what we have to do, let's put this into action, and here we go. And then as time went on, I started to see that the mindset and psychological issue and mental health aspect of this was really, really important. In fact, it's so important that now when I talk to women about getting their periods back, I of course give them the practical steps, but then I really invite them to spend a lot of time thinking about the reasons for their behaviors. Diving more and more into this, it was like, now we're talking about mental health, now we're talking about psychology, as I said, now we're talking about ourselves and our fears and our desires, and then you take this to talk about what we've been told by the media and social media and the messages that have been given to us over our lives. It's a really complex issue. Now it's like, how do we cultivate an environment of health for ourselves, involving physical and mental and spiritual, emotional, all the components of the self. Talking about how did we get here? What were the things that we saw in our lives? What were the influences that we had that led us to make the decisions that brought us to a bad point in our health? There's so much to this. It's such a hugely complex issue. That's why, honestly, I've had a year of content, because it's just so incredible how deeply rooted in us this issue is. And of course, now this is what motivated me to go back to school to get a master's degree in psychology, so that I could speak with more authority or knowledge or ability on these topics and be able to support this community more. If you would ask me a year ago if I would be at Harvard studying for a master's degree a year later, I would tell you you were out of your mind, but this is where I am. So let's talk about some of the more interesting aspects of the YouTube journey in general. Okay, I never started this channel thinking I was gonna make money or wanting to be a YouTube star. That was the furthest thing from my mind at all. All I really wanted to do was find a better way to connect with all of the women that were writing to me while I was on Instagram. I wanted to share my knowledge in a more succinct way. I wanted to give people complete knowledge instead of doing these little blurbs on Instagram where I was trying to write as much information as I could and trying to share my journey as much as I could. While it's true I'm not shy of the camera, being on camera has its benefits and also its major drawbacks. The benefit is that I can communicate a great amount of information in a short period of time, and I can foster this sense of community because now you see me and now you get to know me and I share my life with you, which I love because I have met incredible people. I have been honored to learn about their journeys and their stories, and it has just made this whole thing that much more rich. But as I said, YouTube is not easy. You deal with certain technical aspects that can be a major bummer. YouTube changes its algorithms anytime it wants to, where it serves its interests. And they ask you all these questions when you're on YouTube. You know, do you feel supported as a YouTube creator? And the answer is, I'm not sure. In 2017, it's basically impossible for you to really make any headway in terms of subscribers and in terms of views unless you're willing to pull what I like to call YouTube party tricks. I don't do full day of eating videos regularly. I did one when I was in Italy because I thought it was interesting, you know, being someplace different with different foods and a different culture. But I don't do full day of eating videos. I don't post before and after pictures. I am totally opposed to that kind of stuff. I don't shake my ass in front of the camera. I don't do 10,000 calorie challenges. And you know what? I'm not judging anyone who does those things, but it's just not me. I'm not gonna change who I am as a person to get more viewers. What I want is to have you who are watching this right now, you're one of my core viewers. You're watching this because you want to be here. You want to see this. I didn't have to entice you to be here. You're genuinely interested. And that's what I want. I don't even have 1,000 subscribers yet on this channel a year later. I have made exactly $0 from YouTube. I have never received a check from YouTube. And in a few minutes, I'm gonna show you some of my stats in the Creator Studio back-end kind of dashboard area so that you can see sort of how the year has gone. Okay, I'm actually gonna show you my YouTube dashboard so that you can see some of the numbers. All right, can you see this right here? So right here we have, this is all lifetime, okay? So you can see right here that I have 315,150 watch time minutes lifetime, 54,290 lifetime views of all the videos. You can see here that the total amount of money, and I laugh amount of money since I don't actually make that money, the total amount of revenue generated by this channel in this year is $99.57. This I find the most fascinating bit of data. You can see all the way over to the left there are 833 subscribers. But in the course of the last year, YouTube says that I have gained 954, but then I lost 121. And I'm sure you've heard other YouTubers talk about the fact that YouTube will actually unsubscribe people from your channel whether or not they know it. So, hey, you 121 people, what happened? Where'd you go? Come on back. So I hope this gives you a little bit of an idea about what it's actually like being on YouTube for a year when your channel has less than 1,000 subscribers. We're definitely not talking about big dollars here. So this is not for the faint of heart, but you know what? I don't care. I do it because I love you. I continue to stay on YouTube despite all this because it is really the best way to share information and to learn from you and hopefully to spread a message. Also for me, it has turned into a sort of digital resume, as it were, so that if someone is interested in having me come speak or talk or write something or in any way represent this channel, they can see what I am up to, what I've been doing, what I've been researching and talking about over the last year. And I feel that if anything, this is the most important thing, that I've created a digital footprint that people can sort of check out. For the most part, the experience has been really positive. I have had 99.999% amazing, wonderful comments, thumbs up, tons of great feedback, tons of love from all of you. I stay away from politics, I stay away from social stuff, I stay away from controversial issues. There's enough of that out there in other mediums. You don't need to come here and get that from me. Contrary to what you might see a lot on YouTube and just everywhere, I don't want to stir up trouble. I don't like creating conflict, and if you come here to my channel, what I want you to feel is that you're sitting down with a friend and that I have poured you a cup of tea and that we're talking openly. I've only had one person leave a negative comment, and it was a guy, and he told me that I'm too self-centered. But this is a channel where I talk about my experiences, so yeah. So now to more of the personal things, I guess, that have changed over the last year, or sort of what this channel has done for me personally over the last year. Well, obviously, I'm much less afraid to talk about this very personal issue. I really have absolutely no shame about it at this point, and I will talk about it with no holds barred to anyone who wants to hear it. This definitely has helped me grow as a person. I think I definitely was more concerned about what other people would think of me before I started this channel. Actually, no, I don't think I know that. Having this channel and having a forum and talking to you directly about some very, very intimate details of my life has been really kind of awesome, because I just don't care anymore. If it helps someone to hear me talk about my experience, then it's totally worth it. Of course, I've learned a lot just in the process of doing all the research for this channel. It has helped me get more in touch with my body and read signs and symptoms of different things that might be happening. You've heard me talk a lot over the last year about moments where things were good in my health and moments where I, kind of maybe had a few missteps or things kind of went backwards. I know what's normal and what's not, and it's helped me sort of calm my own fears about different symptoms that I was having. It's also helped me, like I said, recognize patterns and figure out how to reverse them before they get out of hand. And the $1 million question is, where are you on your running journey, Jill? What are you doing about that? And I haven't really talked about this formally, even though in the last couple of vlogs that I did, you saw me going for walks and talking about my hip. So what I do want to tell you is that I stopped running about 6 weeks ago completely. I go for walks now and go to yoga. I want to be clear that this is not something related to overtraining syndrome. It's also not related to amenorrhea. As I've said before, I've got my first period back over, let's see, it's been 1.5 years, and I haven't missed one, and I haven't had any problems with it since I got it back. Overtraining problems sort of came and went over the year depending on how much I was training. The reason why I have stopped running now is because I do feel as though this kind of old injury in my hip is not getting better. In fact, it's getting worse. And my tolerance for pain now is quite low, much lower than it used to be. I really need to get this hip looked at. I need to go to a doctor and get an MRI. Unfortunately, I cannot afford to do that until we go back to Italy in January. So I'm just gonna be cool in it for now. This has been incredibly hard. It's never easy to give up something that you love very much. I have to say though, over the last 1.5 years, I have worked really hard on understanding the things about myself that are pretty awesome irrespective of the running. I've learned to focus more on those other things about myself that I really value and cultivate those, and not hang every bit of my being on the running anymore. The accomplishments of my past are something that can never be erased. I'm proud of them now. I will be proud of them forever. And now that I've had to actually stop running, I feel okay. I really do. I have school to focus on. I have all of you to focus on. I have other things in my personal life. I mean, my life is good. I feel happy. The other night, my boyfriend and I were driving in the car, and a song came on the radio that I used to put on my mixes in my iPod when I would go out and do ultra marathons. In the last, say 20 miles, I would allow myself music. And so one of the songs that popped on was one of those songs that I would listen to, in the late stages of a race. And I just, I was flooded with those emotions, that adrenaline and excitement and just being out there in nature and running down the trail and feeling yourself so strong. Even though you just ran 40 miles and you've got 20 more to go, just that feeling, it just gave me such an emotional response. It's bittersweet, of course. I loved that feeling. I do miss it very much. But there are other things that I love too. And now is the time for me to focus on the gifts of my present day. So yeah, it's hard, but it's okay too. So just a little bit about the future. It's the end of October 2017. I have a midterm in 2 weeks. Oh my God. I will finish this class in December. By the end of January, we will be back in Italy again. And this time, I actually don't know when I am coming back to the States. We do not have plans to come back, except for small stretches, for a while. So of course you're coming with me. I know you're asking about school. Well, are you in school, Jill? Yes, I am, and the Harvard Extension program allows you to take classes online. Of course, I do have to complete a certain number of classes on campus by the time I graduate. So this coming spring, I'll actually take a class online, and I'm looking forward to that experience, definitely. This time I will be showing you a little bit more of my surroundings. I didn't do that last time when we were in Italy because I didn't want you to think it was too much dolce vita and not enough, HA and OTS talk. But this time I want to share a little bit more with you so you can see where I am. Nothing else is going to change. You'll still get one video a week for sure. You can still always get to me on email, and you can find me on Instagram and Facebook and all those great things. I have a lot of goals for the future of A Case of the Jills, and also for the conversation that we have begun on hypothalamic amenorrhea, how to raise awareness, how to connect folks who are experts in their field and share information. This is all stuff that I'm going to be working on the next few years. I'm not going anywhere, so I hope that you don't go anywhere. All of you who are subscribers to this channel right now are my OGs. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate it. If you like these videos and you think that they're helpful, please share them with your community. Share them with your team, share them with your friends or training partners, anyone that you think can benefit. I have really, really loved being a part of your life for the past year, and I have loved you being a part of mine. I hope that wherever you are, you have a wonderful day, and I will see you again soon.